wonderful fungi from Yuggoth. Welcome to my channel, and today, or tonight, I'll be covering this video by one literary who attempts to power scale Nyarlathotep, the Crawling Chaos. Now, I made my point clear in my last video that the mythos can't be power scaled, and sorta taints and ruins HPL's legacy. But I choose to respond to this video simply because that I don't want this heresy to represent the mythos. So this video isn't this guy's first attempt to power scale the mythos, but I simply choose this one because A, Nyarlathotep is a personal favorite of mine, B, this is my channel, I can do whatever I want with it, and C, his first mythos dissection is like 1 hour long. I don't want to do all that crap. Now, I wouldn't say that this is a debunking video like my first one, but it's more like a correction video, as oh boy, this guy must be from some weird alternate timeline because everything he says is very skewed from the original tales HPL wrote. Like, god damn. And with that out of the way, sit back, relax, grab your favorite human flesh to snack on, and watch as I slowly get more and more frustrated.
Before we talk about his powers, let's talk about his backstory. So, Nyarlathotep is one of the other gods. In fact, he is the very soul of all of the other gods, and he exists to feed them.
No, nothing about Nyarlathotep feeding the other gods in here.
Nyarlathotep is also considered the messenger of the other gods. When someone makes a deal with the other gods, that person usually makes the deal with Nyarlathotep himself. Nyarlathotep basically represents the other gods and speaks for them.
The idea for Nyarlathotep being the messenger for all the other gods is a very early idea, only seen in stories where Lovecraft was just getting back into writing, like the prose poem. In later stories, he's portrayed as only the messenger of Azathoth. This was even shown in this letter HPL wrote to CAS in the year 1930, where it says that Nyarlathotep is only Azathoth's messenger and nobody else.
He is also loyal to the other gods, by the way. He acknowledges them as his masters. What's interesting?
Well, that is completely wrong, as the master part in Fungi from Yuggoth only is referring to Azathoth, and it's pretty evident he's not loyal to Azathoth since he punched him with contempt.
Interesting about Nyarlathotep is that despite being a creature from the void, Nyarlathotep can leave the void at will and freely roam through all of the dreamlands unrestrained. That's why he's called the Crawling Chaos.
The reason why Nyarlathotep is called the Crawling Chaos is not because of that. It's more likely because he's like a creeping and growing horror, which is why he's called the Crawling Chaos. You know, because Lovecraft likes poetry and stuff, and literature and romance stuff, whatever, you get the idea.
Because he moves around, the only place Nyarlathotep cannot go is the physical realm, but Nyarlathotep is very special, you see, because unlike most of the other gods, he can think, and he's actually very smart, so he figured out a way to circumvent this limitation. See, there's this thing called the Shining Trapezohedron. It's some kind of weird-looking stone or gem. It was created in Yuggoth, presumably by the Migo.
You do realize that Nyarlathotep doesn't need the Shining Trapezohedron because his other avatars like the Black Man and Pharaoh don't need it. I mean, come on, it's pretty obvious. And also, where the heck did you claim that he can't enter the physical world? Because that was never stated or alluded to in any story that Lovecraft has written. And besides, Catan, Nothawa, and Cthulhu can't enter the physical world, so why can't Nyarlathotep? Like, what? Like, I'm confused about you. What, bro? Also, can I just say how absolutely stupid this map is? Like, why do power scalers have the need or want to make everything structured, even in something that doesn't have structure or doesn't need it? Like, that goes directly against what Lovecraft crafted in his own fiction. Like, the mythos has no structure, it has no canon. It's just... It's like a writer's sandbox. Like, can't you just accept that the mythos has no structure or canon?
Trapezohedron is magical. If you are near it, it is going to make you want to look at it. And if you look at it, a sort of symbiotic link will be formed between you and Nyarlathotep and...
That is not how the Shining Trapezohedron and Nyarlathotep works. It's not magical. The reason why that people look at the stone is because of some strange cosmic force. And anyone who looks at it will be marked as sacrifice, not whatever you just said.
It's important to note that even though he looks like a monster, the Hunter of the Dark is not a mindless beast. This avatar is capable of thinking, and he also does not stay like a monster forever. That's what the avatar looks like when he comes out, but he does not stay like that.
Where the heck do you get that claim? Like, in what story do you get that insane claim where the Hunter can, like, what? Transform, metamorphosize, or whatever you're trying to allude to? Because there is not a single story written by Lovecraft or Block that hints or alludes to this ability. What the Hunter can actually do is that it can possess people, like what happened to Dr. Ambrose Dexter in The Shambler from the Stars by Robert Bloch. Got it? Alright.
Now, this avatar of Nyarlathotep is significantly weaker than his full self, but eventually, the Hunter of the Dark gains more power. Presumably, this is done through blood sacrifices.
Just like your previous claim, where did you get this from? Because every story that Lovecraft and Bloch has written never stated that the Hunter can get stronger because of sacrifices. In fact, it probably doesn't need it at all. Instead, it probably demands sacrifices because it's extremely sadistic. Like, come on, this is Nyarlathotep we're talking about, aka the most sadistic entity in the mythos. And finally, it's not blood sacrifices. It's actually full body sacrifices.
What's really cool about this avatar is that if the person who looked at the trapezohedron is in the darkness, they gain the ability to see what the avatar of Nyarlathotep can see, but in turn, the avatar can see what the person can see, which means Nyarlathotep knows where you are.
No. Wrong. The Hunter can't do that, and the victim can't do that. What you just showed doesn't prove your claim. Instead, what you just showed was just Robert documenting what he saw and what he experienced after he saw the stone. So, you're just wrong. Just wrong.
You got this close to Earth, the Migo dropped the trapezohedron on Earth. There, the Elder Things found it, and then the trapezohedron taught the Elder Things how to create Shoggoths. A Shoggoth is a weird amorphous monster. This has nothing to do with Nyarlathotep, by the way. I'm just sharing lore that I think is interesting. The point is the Shoggoths annihilated the Elder Things. That's how the Elder Things died.
Well, nope. Everything you just said was completely wrong. In truth, the Elder Things created the Shoggoths after eons of genocide and war. And those space cucumbers, they only treasured the stone. They didn't use it at all. They just treasured it. And lastly, those giant amoebas weren't the ones that killed those cucumbers. What actually killed those cucumbers was a mystery. Like, it was left a mystery.
Fast forward a couple thousand years, the trapezohedron is rediscovered, and the Hunter of the Dark is summoned a couple more times. During one of those times, Nyarlathotep went to Salem. Yeah, the Salem known for the witch trials. Turns out in this universe, Nyarlathotep goes to Salem and tells a couple of women, hey, do you want to learn magic? And that's what started the whole witch trials thing. Also, in this universe, witches are real. But anyway.
Oh my god, how could you get this wrong? Come on! Okay, while it is true that Nyarlathotep did arrive at Salem, it wasn't the Hunter. It was the Black Man, another avatar of his. If I were you, I would be very embarrassed to make this goof up, because this was very, very explicit. Like, there was no subtlety. Alright, let me make this small little clarification so I won't get any crazy comments. The Black Man is not based off of anything racist. It is instead based off of how the Puritans saw the devil back in the day. And fun fact, this version of the devil can be seen in The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Wow, isn't that cool? And by the way, it wasn't magic, it was some strange alien math that he taught to those witches. I mean, come on. In The Dreams in the Witch House, this was literally stated explicitly right here.
Anyways, as for the trapezohedron, the last thing Lovecraft wrote about it is that it's stored in some museum in the United States. banish the avatar of Nyarlathotep, you must witness Nyarlathotep's true form and not die. Presumably, the way it works is that you use the trapezohedron as some kind of lens. You look at Nyarlathotep's avatar through the trapezohedron, you will see his true form, and if you can handle what he looks like, the Hunter of the Dark goes back to the void. Anyone can do this. It doesn't have to be the person that summoned the avatar. All you need is the trapezohedron and be mentally prepared for it. To give you an idea, a regular guy succeeds on banishing the avatar. He goes to the hospital after, but he's alive. So whatever Nyarlathotep's true form looks like, it can't be that bad. I mentioned.
Ooh, wow. Such a nice and articulated explanation. But there's one teeny weensy little problem. This has nothing to do with Nyarlathotep. In fact, it is unrelated to him completely. Because you see, the Tree on the Hill entity is not the Haunter, and the story is not connected to the Haunter of the Dark story or the trilogy. And even if you try to make the argument that it's connected or it fits, you're absolutely wrong. Because you see, in reality, the last thing that H.P. Lovecraft wrote about the Haunter and the Trapezohedron before he died was that I was thrown into Narragansett Bay by Dr. Dexter. Not in a museum, you
Fat-bald bastard! Piece of subhuman trash! 2,000 years of constant human evolution to create a hairless...
I mentioned this when I talked about Cthulhu, but it's worth repeating because this is a misconception that refuses to die. The other gods do not have a weird passive ability that instantly makes you crazy or instantly kills you if you look at them. If you can handle what they look like, you'll be fine.
What are you talking about? They do. Catan Nothwa and Azathoth has his ability. And from this point forward, he's gonna do his little power scale, which, I'm just gonna speed run all the things he got wrong, so yeah.
As a passive ability, the Hunter of the Dark gives nightmares to everyone around him. The range of this passive ability is as large as an entire city, and he is also super smart.
Bro, that's the Pharaoh, not the Haunter.
Lastly, for his avatar, the Hunter of the Dark can, at any moment, go from the physical realm to the void, and he can take other people with him. It'd be a one-way trip, because once in the void, the avatar can go back to the physical realm until someone looks at the trapezohedron again, but once in the physical realm, the avatar can choose to go to the void at will. He can do it once, but he can do it. The question now is, how exactly is he doing this? Because...
Oh god, not good. Okay, let me calm down. The passage you just showed, like the passages you showed, is not Nyarlathotep in his Haunter avatar. It's Nyarlathotep in his Pharaoh avatar.
In addition, Nyarlathotep can shapeshift. It is said he has an infinite amount of forms, so he can look like anything, but he does have a preferred appearance. Most of the time, Nyarlathotep chooses to look like a tall, completely bald, faceless, black humanoid figure.
Dang, wrong. Nyarlathotep's most preferred avatar is the Pharaoh, not the Black Man. The Pharaoh made 3 appearances, while the Black Man only made 1.
Universe Lovecraft created, a deity like the Egyptian sun god Ra actually exists.
While it is true that gods of men do exist in the mythos, they're not the same ones in real life.
I am not done, because Nyarlathotep is the soul of all of the other gods. We know that in this universe, souls have power. Nyarlathotep being the soul of every single one of the other gods must mean that at bare minimum, Nyarlathotep has a portion of the power of every single one of the other gods.
The soul part is a metaphor. You know, why does every single power scaler completely disregard metaphors? Especially in H.P. Lovecraft's work, because metaphors are a pillar in his works. And also, Beyond the Walls of Sleep is not part of the mythos. Not every single story that Lovecraft wrote takes place in the mythos.
Now we can finally bring back our good friend the staircase. Then we can make another step, and that's where Nyarlathotep would rank.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That little stairway thing is completely wrong. Here, let me fix it for you.
Only 4 beings in his verse that could fight him. Put those...
Where in the absolute hell did you get the claim that God exists in the mythos? Because it's very common knowledge that HPL is a very outward and very diehard atheist. And oh yeah, Nodens was retconned. And Nyarlathotep never made an appearance in the Crawling Chaos. Sorry. And the last thing I want to add is that you really shouldn't compare shonen anime with the Cthulhu mythos, because the two don't mix. It's like oil and water. Okay, I think I understand the main issue or problem that you power scalers have. It's that you confuse August Derleth's Cthulhu mythos with H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos. Since unlike Lovecraft, Derleth was a devout Christian, and his mythos was more anthropocentric, and it was more action-packed. There were a lot of gods fighting, and godly wars, and all the stuff that you power scalers would enjoy. I personally don't like it, but hey, that's just my deal. You can enjoy August Derleth's work. I am not stopping you. Just don't apply the principles of August Derleth's mythos to H.P. Lovecraft's mythos, because the two are incompatible. And that's about it for this video. I hope you all enjoy, or maybe you didn't, because it's not for everyone. Now, originally, I was gonna have a script for this video, but I decided to go off script because, I think it'd be more funny or more fun. And I hope you all enjoyed that, whatever I did. And no hate towards Literary Who. All that angry stuff was just for show. I have no strong feelings towards him, alright? And I sure hope he doesn't make another heretical video. Oh, god damn it! Well, looks like I got a new video idea. And as always, good day, good night, and may Cthulhu bless you all.